Peace, world. What's going on? Welcome to another Substantial Weekly update. And of course, I am Substantial. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. And to all my regular supporters, man, I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for the continued support. And yeah, a lot going on, man. And happy to be back. And, you know, just, yeah, it's a lot to go over. Excuse me, pardon me. So first and foremost, man, if you're still in the chat right now, be sure to say peace. Let me know where you're tuning in from, all that good stuff. And if you haven't shared the video yet, please consider doing so we can get more folks to join in. And this is kind of for those, again, if you haven't been coming to these on a regular basis, this is my way of, think of it like a video newsletter, right? Where, you know, sometimes I send out the email blasts and stuff, and then other times, because I know not everyone reads the email blast, I put updates in video format, and that's what we've been doing on a weekly basis since late November. So, hey, man, again, thank you for being here. Let's jump into the updates and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, man, it's Black History Month. And listen, I don't know how to break this to you, but in case you didn't know, I'm Black. And so, yeah, man, this is an exciting time, you know, and of course I'm celebrating Black History year round and all of that good stuff. But man, this time of year, you know, we definitely take time to celebrate people who've made contributions to the culture, to the world abroad and, you know, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do first and foremost, right, is I'm going to share a video with you guys of a song of mine that maybe a lot of you know. But based on its views, I know for a fact it's probably it's not one of my more popular videos. So maybe you've seen the video before, maybe you haven't, but I figured it's ideal to show for this particular day since it's Black History Month. And so we're going to show that. And then after that, we're going to jump into some other announcements and updates. All right. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the music video for my song called Black of All Trades. This is version 2, produced by my brothers from another mother, the Other Guys. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Etienne Robinson. I'm an artist, designer, arts administrator, event planner, wife, and mother. Black of all trades. I do it.
I am Victorious Jihad, husband, father, educator, speaker, author, and trainer. Black of all trades. I do it.
My name is Jay Gotti Amos. I am an author, poet, rapper, on-road student. Black of all trades. I do it.
Hey, I'm Julian Lytle, artist, cartoonist, podcaster, maker. Black of all trades, I do it.
Peace. My name's Kenneth Williams. I'm a teacher, father, stepdad, educator, believer. Black of all trades, I do it.
I can paint a picture with words or just brushes. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something. Cutting up samples while keeping the bass pumping. Nothing we can handle while we'll have this place jumping. You trampoline, I'd rather have a queen. Of course I am a king, so I can have a dream or be your worst nightmare. War never fight fair. If I'm freedom right there, take it by any means. Learn peace from the gods, but still study violence. Fight for my serenity, if anything challenge. Right rope on a tightrope, trying to find balance. Build my skill with will plus talent. Slinger of rhymes, training young minds. Painter of the times, maker of designs. Sailor of the skies, pilot of the seas. Maker of the pies, refiner of the dream. I do it. Black of all trades, I do it. Put art on a page, I do it. I do it. I do it. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something if you want to do it. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something if you want to do it. Do it until it's done and there ain't nothing left to do. Do it under the sun, can tell you did it from your youth. Doing it in the park after dark, man, do. Different type of vibe, but I'ma work until it's through. I'm a mover and shaker. Up and down, simple strong, so my jaws think about it smooth as sandpaper. This is for the chance takers. Villains gave us lemons, now we lemonade makers. Don't let any man break ya. the most resilient y'all seen play. He don't play, but highly sought after his teammate. Nothing I can't do, you should broaden your dreamscape. Food for thought, you should be consuming what we pay. Teach, cook, write, love, speak, good, fight. Seek, look, eye shut, we must rise up often. Right rhymes, dark skin, right mind, lost wins, fly blind fortunes. I find I do it. Black of all trades, I do it. Shackle my brain, can't do it. Won't do it, never do it. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something if you want to do it. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something if you want to do it. Yeah, how you gonna tell me what I can't do when I probably did it first? Ain't nothing I can't handle. Sure as I can do it worse, so I'ma make it cooler, add a little flavor. Take us to the future, be a little greater. I ain't scared of barter, still more valuable than paper. Work a little harder, put it down and make them pay up. I leg it down, they tell me stay up. Every time I turn around, they talk about a pay cut. Trying to stop the baker, who I would get in this take up. Still surpassing his peers, whatever why he bringing race up. Cause average got us living under poverty lines. And good's only good enough part of the time. And great don't make them hate you from afar. In the comment section like, who these niggas think they are? Black of all trades, I do it. Carry the world's weight, I do it. I'll be damned if I can't, I do it. I do it. I do it. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something if you want to do it. Make something out of nothing, ain't nothing to make something if you want to do it.
Peace, my name is Heather Jones, teacher, visual artist, daughter, and coach. Black of all trades, I do it.
My name is Precious Joubert. I am a singer, songwriter, producer, musician, artist. I teach voice, I give songwriting workshops, and most importantly, I'm a mother. Black of all trades, I do it.
Peace. My name is Substantial. Husband, father, graphic designer, educator, MC. Black of all trades, I do it. Yeah. Peace, peace, peace. Man. Hey, shout out to, so many different people. Shout out to Cam who shot that video. Shout out to all my friends and fam who made guest appearances in that video. Salute to all of the amazing ancestors who passed on, and, the amazing different creatives, entrepreneurs, activists, all of the different people who we tried our best to honor in that video. Man, it was so a fun fact about that video, not so fun fact, actually. So that is the second time we shot that video, because we shot the whole thing a while before it actually came out. And then I want to say that it was, I think, a few months before we were planning to drop the video, that that my man Isaiah from the other guys hit me up to say that something happened with his computer and he lost everything. Like he stuff that he didn't have backed up, which included the music video. He lost everything. So we were in a scramble to reshoot the video, and I had to holler at my man Cam from MD as well, who ended up shooting the video. And so shout out to him, man, for coming through in the clutch. Luckily, we already had the treatment written out, but it actually was way more students in the video before. But, the advantage of having your own kids, it was like, baby, come, you're going to have to be in this video with me. So anyway, but yeah, man, thank y'all for watching that. I'm curious to know if there's any of you in the chat who've never seen the video before, because, again, it's not my most popular music video. It's not as popular as No Turning Back. Issue, I think, and songs like that, and probably has the least amount of views of most of my music videos. So that's why I shared it, and then also because I feel like it's relevant because of the fact it's Black History Month. But yo, to Tiger's Lair, hey, what's going on, sis? Good to see you up in here. Shout out to you. One of the things that she pointed out is that she loves it when I do this song live because it gets the audience so hype. And man, part of the reason why I love doing it live is because it fills me with energy and the audience, and just it's not one of my more popular songs, but in terms of like whenever I perform it live, you would think it was, you know what I mean? Because it definitely gets everyone hype. RBI, shout out to you, man. Good to see you up in this joint. So this is a great question. Someone asked me if I miss teaching. Fun fact, I still do. I left teaching full time, but I still do teach. I teach with Words, Beats, and Life. Shout out to my man RBI, who's in here, who's also an educator with Words, Beats, and Life as well. I teach business, music, and art classes with Words, Beats, and Life. I do that once a week. And then I also teach with Omega School out in Rockville, Maryland. I teach music business classes with them as well, digital distribution classes, and just basically the art of promoting your music independently. I teach that as a class as well. It's called Dynamic Music Promotion, something like that is my 4-hour lecture that I give. So yeah, man. So I still do teach, absolutely. And I just confirmed today that I'm going to be appearing at a school in Annapolis next week to talk about my book with some little kids, man, some kindergartners and pre-K kids. So I'm out here with these babies still, you know what I mean? This is another cool question regarding the video. I'm curious who the cartoonist was. So yeah, man, shout out to my man. That is my man, Julian Lytle, who also attended Pratt Institute with me. He's a very talented illustrator. He's also a film critic. He wears many hats, as do most of my friends, hence the title Black of All Trades. And but yeah, man, a really dope brother. His name's Julian Lytle. All right. And let's see. Was that art at the end spelling Black of All Trades? Yes, that art at the end was my original art. I majored in graphic design when I went to Pratt, so I did design that myself. You can actually grab that as a shirt from my merch store. The merch link is in the description of this video. So if you want a shirt that says Black of All Trades, you can purchase that right now from subartandmusic.com/store. So yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't. Let's see, any other questions we got? Hey, Ice Killer's up in here. Peace, Ice Killer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Yeah, man. Nah, listen, man, I feel like once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher. Even if you retire, the fact of the matter is, man, we are, what's the saying? More is caught than taught, right? So whether you're actually teaching a class or you're just living your life, there's always someone watching you. So you're always teaching, whether you like it or not. You know, and so that's something I think I'll never fully walk away from in some way, shape, or form. As long as I feel like I got something good to offer folks, whether it's young people or adults, I'm going to be out here trying to educate, man, you know? All right. That's what's up, man. I love that comment. Energy from generations on that song. Blessings. So yeah, man. So speaking of blessings, while we're talking about blessings, let's I want to take a moment to extend some blessings to some family, some friends of mine who are like fam. And so real quick, man, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen, and I want you all to check out. You should already be able to see the link in the chat already. It should be pinned to the top if you're watching on YouTube. And basically, what's going on is a good friend of mine, the homie Sean Beasy, his lady was not born in the U.S., but she was brought to the U.S. at a young age, you know, and basically they have been together for a while and they are looking to take the next step. You know, I think some people sometimes think that when you're trying to get citizenship in this country, it's as simple as just marrying a certain person, and that's all you need to do. But the laws have changed, and it's really not that simple. So although they're engaged, she's a dreamer, so she's at risk of potentially, you know, being sent back to her country of origin and not being able to come back to the U.S. without completing this process, which is very expensive and takes a very long time. So what I did was I dropped the link in there, and I'm gonna show you all I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can see it. My wife and I have worked very hard with them to help them raise funds, you know, and create this video. That's why you see our company logo on there, because one of the things we help people with is crowdfunding. And so, you know, we are trying to help them crowdfund, basically helping her achieve citizenship, which is extremely expensive. And it's something that we've been educated on. And matter of fact, if you've seen that movie In the Heights, you see there's a situation in there where they're paying off lawyers and different people to gain citizenship for one of the characters and stuff. And so she's going through something very similar. And we're just trying to do our part to help out, man, by extending our services as a business to them. But then also just trying to help to get the word out. So if you have it in your heart, man, I know some of y'all may have similar situations or may have people in your life who are in similar situations. So maybe you can relate a bit. Or if you're just trying to learn more, I definitely encourage you to check out the video so you can learn more about her situation and their situation. And yeah, man, and wish them nothing but the best. And if you have it and you have the ability to support, I encourage you to do so. I'm never on here pushing people who I don't believe in and don't know to be great people to y'all. So, you know what I mean? Definitely support them if you have the ability to do so. All right. So sending love to Lizanne and my man Sean Beasy, man. We got nothing but love for you and support and all of that. All right. So, man, on that note, we're going to keep it moving to jump into some other things, get you all up to date on some other stuff, man, because there's so many things happening. But before I do that, I also wanted to give a belated happy heavenly birthday shout to Jay Dilla and Nujabes. It was the anniversary of both of their passings it was their birthdays this past week, and Dilla, the anniversary of his passing was yesterday. Nujabes is later this month, but definitely rest in peace to both of them. Obviously, both of them contributed to my life in different ways. I never met Dilla, but of course his music was extremely influential on me. And I'm pretty sure that some of y'all can hear some of the influence in some of my production as well. But yeah, man, I definitely wanted to take a minute to honor them both. And had to say that, man. Yeah, and thank you all, man. I appreciate the love in the chat. But of course, man, always trying to put good vibes and good information out there. Yes, definitely rest in peace to them both. All right. But yeah, man, so in other news, so let's jump into, man, it's so much happening, B. It's so much happening. And, it's like where to begin. But first and foremost, we are celebrating a milestone, ladies and gentlemen. And that milestone is a little song that I did just hit 200,000 streams. And that is exciting. So, man, like real quick, let's just clap it up for the fact that Dedicated and Driven just passed 200,000 streams on Spotify. So that's, in general, it's way more than that. It's probably, if we include all platforms, I got to double check, but it's somewhere between 225,000 to 250,000 streams total. 250,000 streams total, which is pretty dope. Considering that it's not your traditional rap song. Yeah, it has a jazzy beat and stuff, and that's the sound that people know me for. But like, I mean, man, like it's a song about fatherhood and in particular what it's like being a black father. And it's not your traditional rap song. It's not what people think of when they think of hip hop per se. And so for that song to be doing those type of numbers, considering it just came out in June? It's super, man. Listen, I'm thrilled to see that. I'm happy that this late in my career, 20 plus years in the game at this point, I signed my contract with Hideout back in like 99. So we 23 years in from that point, not even including the fact that I did my first demo back in like 94, 95, something like that. So yeah, man, just a long time of putting in work, and it's really, really dope to see music, honest music. Let's call it that, right? Honest music, just music, no bells and whistles, man. Not trying to, I ain't out here, talking about killing a bunch of folks. I ain't out here glorifying a bunch of negative stuff. And I definitely ain't out here judging a bunch of people for talking about what they talk about. But to be able to do those type of numbers, being my true self and talking about the stuff I care about and that I deem important in my life and in the world, and it's dope to see. So, hey, man, and y'all had something to do with that. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And if you haven't heard that song yet, I feel away. I definitely feel away if you have not listened to that song yet. So definitely, man, if you have not checked out Dedicated and Driven yet, please do so. The instrumental version is also available. And yeah, man. So, you know, definitely, man, I appreciate the love in the chat for that song hitting that milestone. Some other cool stuff, man, that's going on outside of that. Of course, the new album is out right now, Animal Arithmetic, by me and, of course, my sister from another mister, KDFoxx, illustrator, writer, multi-talented artist. Definitely, if you have not checked the album out yet, I don't know what you're doing. Like you didn't hear Dedicated and Driven, and you haven't supported Animal Arithmetic yet. Again, I'm feeling away, B. I'm feeling away. Hey, man, shout out to my man RBI. You know what I mean? The hands of God. Peace, man. Hey, peace to RBI. Thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate that, brother. You know, I love you, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man, this is this guy, for those of you who don't know, if you are from the DMV and you have not heard the name DJ RBI, you're not living life right. He is hands down, one of the greatest DJs that ever come out of the DMV. He has a really, really dope radio show called Capital Ill Radio, which is dope, and they show a lot of love to me and so many other artists from this area, man. And yeah, man, just salute to this brother. And we go back, man, 20 plus years we go back. So definitely great to always see my brother up in here. All right. Hey, man, of course, man, it's love always, bro. It's love always. So, yeah, man, but let's get into some more updates. So I was just talking about the good stuff related to the new album. I was just telling y'all the new album is out. And so, man, I just wanted to point out real quick that the album has been getting a ton of love on different platforms. And so, yeah, real quick, when you see me sharing the updates that some of these websites and stuff are showing love, oh, that's dope. That's dope. Hold on real quick. Let's go ahead and highlight that, man. Yeah, so congrats, RBI. Apparently they got their other radio show back as well. Ill Street Grooves is back too. Both of those shows are dope. Capital Ill Radio and Ill Street Grooves are super dope. Definitely check them out. I'm pretty sure you can listen to them online as well. RBI, feel free to drop any links you need to, bro, in the chat, please. But yeah, man. So let's share these updates real quick. So for those who don't know, the album is out right now, Animal Arithmetic. It's streaming on all platforms. It's also available on Bandcamp. You can pre-order the vinyl. Check. You said my camera's lagging behind. Anyone else having this issue, just let me know. Things seem to be working good on my end. I'm actually hardwired in, B. You know what I'm saying? So if anyone else has seem to be having an issue, I'll see what I can do on my side of things. But it appears to be all good over here. So, okay, got you. So it might just be you, Ice Killer. All right. So, yeah, as I was saying, man, lots of good news with the album. Let's go ahead and share some of that. So okplayer.com has been showing love for years. Shout out to them. And one of the things they just included us in, man, they just included us in Best Songs of the Week, featuring Dr. Dre and Saba. Right there. I was just like, hold up. We just gonna start with Dre and Saba. You already got my attention. You know what I mean? Dre is a legend. And of course, if you don't know who Saba is, again, you're not living life right. Saba's super dope. He has a really dope album that's out right now. Yeah, you should check that out. And man, we saw the roundup that they did and they included a lot of dope music, and you scroll through, you keep scrolling through, and then wait for it. Oh, there we go. Substantial and KDFoxx featuring Millen and Malcolm Jackson. Your Greatest Weapon is officially on okplayer.com. So, man, if you haven't seen it, definitely go check them out, man. We appreciate the love. I'm sure I've tweeted about it like 11 times. But, yeah, man, if you see it on the site, definitely be sure to like that article, share it if you can. And don't mind, but and they also included us in their Spotify playlist, the roundup. So thank you to okplayer.com for showing love. The album is killing right now, man. The album is doing really, really well. Thanks to folks like y'all. I can't stress enough how crazy the support has been for Animal Arithmetic. The vinyl. You can still pre-order some vinyl. Don't wait too long, because I'm willing to bet money that it will be sold out probably within the next 2 to 3 months, because it's a limited run. It's like 400 copies. And I know at least 160 of those copies or so were claimed during the Kickstarter campaign. So, I wouldn't wait too long, because I haven't checked with KD to see what pre-orders are at right now for the vinyl, which should be actually before this month is out. We should be receiving it. So man, definitely check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, man, the album currently, I believe we hit number 20 in France on iTunes, and I can't remember exactly what number we were. I think it was number 8 in Hong Kong on Apple Music. So the streams are it's doing a lot, man. The joint is trying to do the most, and I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's really dope to be able to make the type of music you're proud of, and see it get and see people respond well to it. So, yeah, man. Thank you, Ice Killer. Yeah, Your Greatest Weapon is doing extremely well. Hey, man, that's love right there, man. Shout out to RBI as well. He said it lit up the chat when they played it last month. Yeah, dude, like the joint's doing some things, man. I think by tomorrow it should be at like 30,000 streams alone. Just that one song. And it's averaging between like 1,500 to almost 2,000 plays a day on Spotify. So, yo, it's been crazy, bro. Hey, man, it's somebody who's been making music as long as I have, who's never really been a household name, who's kind of always, I'm not always the first one to get the call. I'm not always the first artist that people think to listen to. And so to those of you who always keep me in mind when you're listening to music or when opportunities come up, I'm eternally grateful. So, because I've recognized that I'm not that guy a lot of times for certain people, when to, again, be in it as long as I have and see the love continue to come through, like, hey, man, I'm humble. I'm super appreciative. And like, yo, it's just a reflection of y'all because, again, when other people choose to sleep, y'all here with me week after week. Y'all keep the stuff in rotation almost daily. And I'm eternally grateful. So, man, I appreciate the love, man. Hey, RBI, thank you again, brother. So, yeah, man, let's get into some other announcements and such. I think we're going to do one last thing to point out in terms of another highlight that happened with Your Greatest Weapon. This might be a little bit tougher to see. But, yeah, man, shout out to Clash Magazine, who also did a feature on the song as well. And salute to Chuck D, man. The day that brother said what he said, man, about my music, and he said a lot of different things, but the day he basically called me one of the great MCs of our time, like, it's like, what do you even say to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, it's for a legend to basically refer to me as that was insane. So they make mention of it in this article. But shout out to Clash Magazine. Some of y'all may not be familiar. I believe they're based in London. A lot of people over there know who they are. I hadn't heard of them before, but apparently it's a big deal to be featured on that site. And they definitely showed some love to the single as well. So, yeah, man. So, listen, I'm talking a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and stop doing that because there's a couple of more announcements to make. and I definitely want to play some music for y'all. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift gears real quick, and I'm gonna let you hear some tunage. We're gonna play a joint for y'all if that's cool. So, man, for those of you who are not following me on Patreon, Judgment Free Zone, I don't feel away because you are here with me now, and that's what counts. But if you would consider, oh man, hold on, go ahead and highlight that. Zio, man, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. And hey, sis, I appreciate that too. Thank you. Thank you, man. I do what I can, yo. And I'm just happy again that I got folks like y'all who appreciate the effort. But yeah, man, thank you. So again, I was mentioning Patreon, and the reason why I'm mentioning it is because I'm trying to do a better job of staying consistent, posting on Patreon, one, and two, making sure I let everyone who isn't following me on Patreon know that I am posting exclusive stuff on Patreon. So, hey, Bob, what's going on, man? Shout out to Bob. Shout out to the dope live stream that he did, paying homage to Jay Dilla and Nujabes the other day. Salute to Bob. Definitely a great channel to follow here on YouTube if you're not already. All right. Good to see you up in here, brother. But hey, man, again, I just posted some new music, which is exclusive on my Patreon page. So if you are not following me on Patreon, you can do that by supporting for as little as $1 a month or as high up to like $50 a month. All right. And here is the link to my Patreon, which is in the chat right about now-ish for you both, for both the YouTubers and folks watching on Twitch. And so, yeah, man, let's play you a sample of the goodness that maybe you're not aware of that's out here in the world. Let me hook you up real quick. So this song, I played a piece of it before, and I believe Bob was here the last time I played a piece of it, because Bob be coming through, man. I see you, Bob. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to share a little piece of this song. I'm going to let y'all see the cover art, which I believe I gave y'all a preview of. So again, man, it's exclusively available on Patreon for y'all to listen to, and the song is called Beautiful Work. Like I said, I did play a snippet before, so I'm going to play that same snippet again for you guys just to give you a sneak peek. And then, yeah, man, if you choose to go support, you can do that whenever you'd like. The song doesn't come out until late March, so you all have a while. But if you feel like after you hear it today that you need it in your life and you got to do something about that today, by all means, follow that Patreon link. And here you go. Let me know if it's coming through clear for y'all, all right?
Down and I'm writing for myself now. I'm right till there's nothing left to say, and my people see goodbye today. Hey, hey. And that's just what it comes to. Even if my words don't reach you, I'm painting my beautiful, beautiful.
Ryan's actually from Maryland as well. So.
This is more than work for hire or something to impress a girl you admire. This is work to inspire. Eternal worth, this kind of work don't expire. With the world feel die, this kind of learning's required.
Play for a little bit longer.
Water when your soul's on fire. Deeper than the baritone in the soulful choir. Voice of reason and experience who most inquire. How he started from the dirt, but then he rose aside. But I digress. The art of work is something to behold. Listen, I was just driven before I hit the road.
Yeah, man. So, you know what I mean? Just gave you the little snippet joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to just stop it all abruptly, but, you know, snippets be exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Little pieces, little smidge. All right? But, man, I'm glad y'all are feeling that. Oh, man. Hey, thank y'all again, man. You know, I try to do what I can, man. You know what I mean? Try to do what I can when I'm doing it. But thank y'all, man. I'm glad y'all enjoy that joint. Definitely this track will be out late March, as I mentioned. It'll be on all streaming platforms. Salute to Avasi or Avasi. I'm not sure how to properly pronounce it. But salute to him for producing it. And salute to Orion Song, man, on the vocals as well. In that post, I tell a brief story of how we linked up. Which is really, really cool. So definitely, man, check it out if you can. Again, it's available right now on Patreon. if you want to check it out. All right. And look, man, while we playing exclusives, let's I think I'm gonna you know what I mean, let you hear something. So real quick, I'm gonna play a track, and y'all let me know about the volume because I'm playing it through a different system, and it'll sound one way for me, but that doesn't mean it sounds the exact same for y'all. But it's a track that I produced for the homie Javier Starks, and it was for a commercial for a company that ultimately decided they're not going to use the track, right? They liked it, but they wanted to go a different direction, and that's fine. Because whenever that happens, that just means I got beats for other things. So I'm going to let y'all hear this beat and see how y'all feel about it. You know what I mean? And maybe I might hold it for something I'm working on, maybe next album or something else. So y'all let me know what you think. All right, hold on. It's a Substantial Weekly exclusive. Super rough draft too. The next time y'all hear this beat, it's probably gonna sound way different too. Like, not way different, but I'm probably gonna have my man play live bass on it, you know. I need this song / track in my life. Oh, word. Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Okay, all right. The people have spoken. It appears y'all are digging that. So I'm gonna see what I can do, man. I'm gonna see what I can do. I just, you know, whether it gets used for my one of my projects, solo projects, remains to be seen. But yeah, it's gonna find a home. You know what I mean? So I'm glad y'all are feeling that. Look, there are a couple of other things that before we go, I want to make sure that that I share with you guys. And I'm about to start the live Q&A as well. So if you got questions, y'all can start throwing it in the chat now. But before I go, I wanted to make sure that I reminded you all of this. And that's that later this month, me and KDFoxx will be going live right here on YouTube. All right. So make sure that you tune in for that. It is going to be awesome. The link to the event should already be in the description of this video. But yeah, man, it's going to be really dope because, as I've mentioned in the past, I'm planning to do a beat set while she is creating live art. So this is going to happen on the 25th of this month. You know, so make sure you don't miss that, and make sure you all set your reminders. Like when you go to the video, you can hit like in advance. You know, hopefully I don't let you down and you have to unlike it, but make sure you share that. Make sure that you hit the reminder so that way you don't forget. And man, it's going to be a fun event. It should be a lot of, you know, a lot of great energy, a lot of good vibes, and some amazing visual art, man. Because Katie says she hasn't done live drawing in a minute, like going on live to make some art live. So that's going to be exciting, man. And I definitely think y'all will enjoy it because she's dope. She makes great stuff. And so, again, that's happening Friday. That's Friday, February 25th. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Show should end at the earliest by 10. We usually run a little bit over due to the Q&A. Which reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially time for the Q&A. All right, so if you got questions that you haven't had answered already, because I know a few of you already had different questions, but now is the time to throw them in the mix. And I do have a question that was actually emailed to me in advance, which, again, to remind you all, if you ever know that you have a question that you would like me to answer on the show, and you have that question ahead of time, you can always email it through my website, So feel free to do that at any time by going to iamsubstantial.com/contact. I believe the link should be it's in the description, top of the description. So iamsubstantial.com/contact if you ever have questions for the show. All right, so which leads me to the first question. All right. And so Kyle says that he's absolutely been loving the music that I've been putting out, all single thug tier, and he can't stop playing. Keep cooking. 1.5. That's love right there. Because, you know, man, hey, look, some of these projects get a lot of burn. Some of these projects don't get as much burn. And Keep Cooking volume 1 or version 1.5 has been getting, you know, moderate love. And so for those of you who really love it and have been playing the hell out of it, thank you. But he basically goes on to say, I was wondering if there are any plans on making a vinyl for it. I'd gladly pre-order. Kyle, thank you so much for sending that in. Let's talk about it. So, yeah, so every time I make a release, I definitely consider putting it on vinyl or cassette or CD. But I've been doing this a long enough time to kind of know how people are going to respond to certain projects. So that being said, I put this to you all, right? The people. Hey, shout out to Steph. Steph is up in here. Peace, peace, peace. All right. So I put this to you all. How many of you would love to see Keep Cooking volume 1.5 pressed up on vinyl? If that's something you're interested in, be sure to let me know in the chat. Because to be frank, Kyle is the first person to ask me if it's going to be on vinyl. And usually in order to manufacture vinyl, I got to press up a minimum of 100 copies. And as you can see in my studio right now, there's a lot of vinyl already here. And that's just what you can see. This closet over here to the side of me probably has another couple hundred pieces of vinyl in it. And you know, and that's not including vinyl that we have stored in other places. So yeah, man, that being said, I've never been a very wasteful person, and I'm definitely not trying to manufacture a bunch of copies of it if it's not something that everyone or a good amount of you are interested in. But if that's something you'd like to see, yes. If that's something you'd like to see, please let me know. But yeah, man, Ice Killer pointed out it's like a minimum of 100. Yeah, that's costly. So for those who don't know, this is how it works. If you press up a minimum of 100 copies, that basically will make it more expensive per copy, right? So when you see people's vinyl like usually cost $30 or higher or $25 and higher, it's partly because if they had to press up a minimum of like 100, like a very small run, then they're probably going to they're probably paying somewhere around close to between $12 to $15 per, depending on what type of vinyl they've used, what type of cover it is, all of that. So it literally costs more than a CD does per copy to manufacture, right? So a retail CD costs less than a actual a wholesale price of not wholesale price, but a manufacturing cost of vinyl. So that means that if I only do 100 copies, we're talking about roughly $1,500 before we even get to shipping, mastering, things of that nature. So it's a $2,000 investment, which again, I don't mind making investments in my music when I know that y'all want a particular thing. Hence why we did the repressing of my first album, To This Union, The Sun Was Born. And then we also did the pressing of Sacrifice, which had never been on vinyl before. So a lot of times I listen to you all, and based on when you all come to me about a particular release, asking for more copies of it or it on a certain medium, I listen, you know what I mean? But if not a lot of you are coming to me, that's why you never see certain certain songs of mine pressed up, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, man, that's the breakdown. Yeah, so okay, cool. So Trey was like, for me, it's a no. He's not a vinyl collector. Got it. All right. That's a great question. A nice afro. I'm gonna get to your the question you asked before as well. But let's start with this one. How much were the cassettes versus CDs? That's a great question. Cassette like when I did the gold cassettes, even though they were a bit fancy, they were still like $3 and something per, right? So yeah, you can get cassettes done for like, so if I do 100 cassettes, I'm gonna pay $300 some, right? And once you throw shipping in there, it's gonna cost another, it'll probably put it at about $400, right? And then if I do the USB cassettes, for the amount of space that those had on it, they cost a bit more. I think they ran about $8 per. However, the reason why we priced it to like $60 some is because it literally had over 20 years of music on it. So that's why you pay a bit more or whatever versus me selling you a regular cassette for like maybe $10 or $15 on the low end, you know? So yeah, man, great question. Thank you for that. Let's get to your other question though. Do you have other creative outlets outside of music, or is music enough for you? Guessing you don't do as much art/graphic design nowadays. You, sir, or I don't. Nice afro. Are you man, woman, non-binary? Like, I don't know. But nice afro. Thank you for that question. I would say that music is not enough for me. I actually am doing graphic design, I would say, if not every day, every other day, bare minimum. You got to remember that most of the graphics that you see on my sites, on the cover of my albums, all of that is all done by me most of the time. Like 90% of the time, I'm the one doing it. And then while I'm also doing that for myself, I do it for a lot of other people as well. I've designed album covers for folks, for a lot of different folks over the years. Even Nujabes back in the day had hired me not only to do cover art for myself, but there were like 2 different projects. I don't even know if those ever came out. I know I never got a copy, but he had commissioned me to do some cover art for him at one point in time for some other stuff he was working on. So I've done that for folks. I've helped out people like Mega Ran and different people. So I do graphic design probably. I'm honestly doing graphic design more than I do music, to be frank. Like in terms of, you know, because with music, I'm doing so much on the business side of things that a lot of times it feels like I'm doing a lot of music stuff, but it's not always making music. A lot of times it's the behind the scenes stuff on top of making music. But with graphic design, 9 times out of 10, I'm literally just making the stuff and either posting it or giving it to someone else so they can post, print it, do whatever they got to do. So so music's definitely not enough. I'm making, you know, some form of visual art almost daily in the form of graphic design. All right, great question. Thank you. Outside of that, other ways I'm being creative, I'm planning to write my next book at some point. Sometime this year, I'll start writing the follow-up to She Sees. So I'll keep y'all posted on that. So I'm always finding different ways to be creative. And of course, I do some video editing and stuff like that too, and play around with that. But that's not like, I don't put it at the level of my music or my art. It's just kind of something I do out of necessities because I can't afford to pay people to do that stuff all the time. You know what I mean? And keep these kids fed. All right. Let's see. All right. Tiger's Lair brings up that people always want vinyl, but everything doesn't need to be a vinyl. I love vinyl, but everything doesn't sound better on vinyl. That's an excellent point. I agree. Vinyl it's a cool experience, right? Like opening it up, looking at the liner notes, putting it on the record player, hearing certain sounds, and that experience it's something I grew up with, so I enjoy it. But I don't enjoy that experience more than listening to the music. Because if I just got the music and I ain't got to do all of that, because sometimes I don't feel like doing all of that. Sometimes I'm just like, Alexa, play blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm good, B. Yeah, so I feel you on that. But as a person who does collect vinyl, I do enjoy that side of it. But honestly, I just don't have that type of time nowadays to always really enjoy vinyl the way that vinyl is meant to be enjoyed. So I agree. All right. Oh, no, I was nice afro. I was only asking because I like a lot of times I think when people speak, especially men, if we don't know the sex of a person we're speaking to online, we just automatically assume they're a man, especially if their picture or image doesn't let us know. And I think I was like, yeah, and I had said something that implied you were a guy, but I didn't know for sure if you were. So I was like, let me just ask. You know what I mean? So I figure it's always better to ask, you know? All right, let's see. We got Raleigh up in here. All right, greetings from Raleigh. Do you ever think you do a concert here or in NC in general? So I've performed in Raleigh before. I've done speaking engagements in Raleigh before. I've definitely performed in other parts of North Carolina before. In fact, last in-person show that I did was actually in a small town called Franklinton, North Carolina, and that happened back in October. I performed at their, I think it was called Frankenfest or something like that. And so, yeah, so I go to North Carolina. My mom's side of the family is from North Carolina, so I venture there at least in a year once, and do some type of event there or whatever, at least once, I would say, every 2 to 3 years. So I've definitely been there more than a few times for speaking engagements, performances. But the problem is most of my audience, or a lot of my audience, isn't from North Carolina. So whenever I post, and I do post that I'm going to North Carolina, and tell people about it, or I'm going to another place. And oftentimes when I post to let people know about upcoming shows, if it's not in a region where I have a ridiculous amount of fans, it almost never gets a whole lot of burn. So people like yourself don't realize that I'm coming that way, even when I make announcements, which hurts. It's sad, you know what I'm saying? Because I think y'all will enjoy it. But yeah, man. Hello, peace. What's going on? Shark Gia? I don't know how to say it, but peace. What's going on? Welcome. All right, let's see. We got another one from Nice Afro. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just remembered that you showed us your Behance, and it didn't seem like too many things were posted that often, but I forget you were posting and creating elsewhere. Yeah, bro. Like, hey, man, I don't really update my online portfolio as much as I could for my art, because most of the work I get is through word of mouth. I'm not actively out there promoting that I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing graphic design for over 20 years, for as long as I've been making music. And I've been doing it professionally. I did my first book cover, I think it was still the 90s when I did that. So, yeah, I've been at it a long time. So most of the work that I get is through word of mouth. So I'm not actively promoting it because I don't have the time. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for Malcolm Jackson. We got Malcolm Jackson up in here. And Steph was up in here too, man. Clap it up for Steph as well. You know what I mean? Throw it up again for my sister from another Mrs. Steph. And my brother from another mother, Malcolm Jackson. Good to see y'all up in here. Yeah, man. Zio says that they want to get into vinyl collecting. Definitely going to pick up some of your stuff and do your best. Word. All right. Let's see. Next we got Shark Gia says that, or asked that they want to know, when am I coming to Europe next? I honestly don't know. Like, it hasn't really... there are no promoters that I've been in contact with recently. Honestly, I haven't really made any plans to tour anywhere in person this year. I've just been kind of waiting it out to see how things go with the with coronavirus, with COVID-19 and everything, and like all of these different spikes. And it's not even me being like overly scared or fearful. It's more so that it's like touring is extremely expensive, right? And, I make a living doing music and art and consulting and doing these different things. But man, when you make plans like that cost a lot of money, because touring is thousands of dollars, right? Like, a lot of times people look at touring as an opportunity to make money, but what they don't necessarily educate the public on is how much it costs to tour, right? Because when you're on tour in a city, in a foreign place, that's 3 meals a day, whatever snacks, right? Like, so you're talking like $100 there. If it's far away, you're talking anywhere from between $500 to $1,000 round trip for your flight, right? And then you got like internal travel in the regions you're in, and all of these other variables. Then there's equipment, there's ordering merchandise, there's all of this stuff, and all stuff I've done time and time again. But the one thing you realize with the uncertainty of what's happening in the world right now is I don't have that type of money to throw away, right? And what I mean is, of course, if I buy tickets to come to Europe and do my thing, and then things change and I don't get to go, of course I can get that refunded depending on how I purchased the tickets. Most places have things in place right now to protect you so you don't lose your money. So that's great. But in terms of merchandise, whenever I go on tour, 9 times out of 10, I usually will press up more merchandise so I can go. And what happened when all of this started is I pressed up a bunch of Think Different shirts and other merchandise. And when I pressed up all of that stuff so I could take it on the road with me, when me and Shingo was on the road, we had 2 shows lined up in Cali that I was supposed to do with him that were both sold out. We never got to do those shows. So, man, if you combine everything that I lost that I invested into those shows on top of not getting the performance money, we're talking about thousands of dollars. On top of the fact that more shows didn't necessarily come right away. You know what I mean? Because of the state of the world. So I say all that. I know you didn't ask for all of that, but I really, I'm an educator. So I use these moments to really talk to people and try to tell y'all what's happening, because most fans don't really care. But I know I'm blessed that I have fans who do. And so when you don't see me coming to your city a lot of times, or don't see me actively setting up a tour, it's because I'm trying to invest my money in places where I know that it makes sense to make that investment. I know I'm going to see a return, and there's a little more certainty on this side of things versus this. There's always a risk, but I got to make the smart bet. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that question. Thank you. Would love to come back to Europe. I definitely plan on coming back at some point. But yeah, man, definitely. Only the best educators. Right. I appreciate it. Got to have those sponsors to subsidize the cost impossible. Yeah. Hey, man, return on investment, ROI. Yes, indeed. And that's the thing, man, like, because that I'm an artist that I'm not as big as like certain artists, right? Like, I'm able to get some sponsors or whatever, but most of the time they're not really, really big sponsors, right? And as long as I've been in the game, it's crazy to think that there are people who still hit me up trying to get me to do stuff for quote unquote exposure, right? Like, hey, would you do this thing? And I'm like, hey, what's your budget? And they're like, oh, well, we're going to post it here and you're going to see about this much traffic and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, but you're talking about a ridiculous amount of time I got to invest in that thing where I can't be doing other things that would make me money. That's not smart for me. And that exposure doesn't always equal more money. Because, for example, one could argue, okay, all of those shirts that were pressed up, oh, you could just post them online and then people will buy them up. Yeah, they might. I mean, listen, I post that new merch is available. Maybe that sees somewhere between, on the low end, 50 to a couple hundred clicks in a 24-hour period, right? And of all of that, we're talking about 1 to 5% of the people, maybe 5 to 10% of the people who see the link click on it. And then of those people, 1 to 5% of them actually take the next step. And most of the time it's closer to that 1 to 2% area, right? So that means that it's not, I'm like, just because you think and you see all of these people in the chat, like, not everybody is supporting what I do on a consistent basis and stuff. A lot of people observe. It's easy to hit like buttons. It's easy to do this, that, and the third. But based on people's circumstances, not everyone has the money to be able to invest in the things I create on a regular basis. And I acknowledge that. But yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, yo, you'd be surprised. I got a meeting next week. And I swear to God, yo, if they basically, if that's where that meeting ends up going, bro, it's going to be over as quick as it starts. You know what I mean? And you'd be surprised, though, how often people still try to use that, I love the explanation, Ari, the business and of the business. Got to run, but I'll check out your Patreon. That's what's up, man. Tommy, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. All right, you have a blessed day. Be safe out here. All right. Let's see. So to correct that, I don't necessarily read manga. I read more traditional, not traditional, that's the wrong word. I read American comics, not as much as I used to. Like, I haven't read a comic in a while, but I still have my comics down there, and every now and then, if there's something that I'm interested in, I might run out and go get. But I don't necessarily read manga. I do watch anime. So I do watch I'm probably in a week, I'll definitely watch at least one, right? I don't have as much time as I used to have and stuff to watch it like that. And my daughter is super into it, so we'll watch it together, and I'm buying her manga. But I am, in case you don't know already, there is a manga project that's coming out in a few months that I just produced the album for. So I am reading that manga, you know what I mean, when it drops. But yeah, man, I'm familiar with manga, and I've checked out a few over the years, but I definitely can't say that I read it like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to my nephew though. My nephew, man, he probably reads. I feel like he's reading like 4 or 5 at a time, and that's not even an exaggeration. Like, he's super into it. So I know people like him, so I can't be out here fronting like I read it like that, you know. But yeah, man. Hey, Kaz, what's going on, man? Good to see you up in this joint. C Cruz, yes, you're gonna need to get that. So for those of you who have not copped the new album yet, I'm gonna drop a link in here for you, so you can check out Animal Arithmetic Volume 1. It's available on all the platforms. So here's the link. You can go ahead and cop that at your earliest convenience, or you can just stream the hell out of it. Whatever you choose to do, whatever makes you feel good, whatever's on your heart, baby, whatever you choose to do, that is all right with me, okay? All right? I appreciate you with my whole heart. Sean Beasy, hey, what's going on? May not be reading manga like that, but you making them now. Hey, man, listen, I'm out here trying to do things with my folks, man. Shout out to KDFoxx again. I don't know how many black women manga artists there are in the world, but I would say that she is amongst a very small minority of folks doing that, who are from that demographic. And hopefully this manga gets turned into an anime at some point in time, because she may end up being like the first black woman to have an anime created out of her original IP. So that is amazing. To know that I'm that close to some history that's potentially going to be made. And so I'm just thrilled for her, man. She definitely deserves all the credit and accolades for the work she's put in. I fell out of the habit of watching anime a couple years ago. I just listen to the music now for the most part. Yeah, I feel you. I can see that. All right. Yeah, man, I will definitely keep you posted, Kaz, for sure. Y'all keep checking back in, man. You know I'm going to be doing this every week. But look, on that note, man, I got to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. That concludes the Q&A. Of course, you know that I do this every week. Substantial Weekly literally is every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And, remember that the last Friday of the month, there is no Substantial Weekly on the last Friday of the month, because that's when Substantial Live from Home happens. And the next one is on February 25th with me and KDFoxx. So once again, make sure, I believe the link is in the description of this video. Be sure to follow that link to set your reminders, and I will see you all at that next show. We are super excited for that. But thank y'all, man, so much for watching. Definitely peace to all of y'all. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Peace. But hey, this is man, hey, Sean, man, I appreciate what you did. Yeah, normalize black women anime. I like that hashtag. That's dope. Yeah, man, but listen, I appreciate y'all so much, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Again, man, if y'all can support my man Sean Beasy's, him and his lady Lizanne, him and his fiance, if y'all can support them, the link should be at the top of the chat, pinned to the top. So please do that. Whether you're watching this right now or you're watching it later, any contribution you can make would be greatly appreciated. More importantly, just follow that link and learn about her. Watch her story, learn about them. They're two awesome people that I'm blessed to know. And I got a lot of love for them, and we're doing what we can to make sure that their campaign is successful. So please support, y'all. Hey, man, y'all have a great weekend. I will see y'all in a bit, man. I'll see you soon, but talk to you sooner. Peace. Yes, sir.